Tommy?
Have no fear, because Tommy is here. And man, Team Tommy, we got a big day today. We got a photo shoot. You know, we gotta get the new braids in. Bro, a lot of niggas was coming at my neck about my haircut and shit. So you know, I had to get a decent style and kizzy cap. I'm not gonna cap, bro. I'm high enough to what World War Hawk's ass. Nah, I'm high enough to what 10 Superman's ass. Nah, I'm high enough to beat 1,000 Omega level Iron Mans in an arm wrestling match. Now today we have comparing Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid to the Brady Belichick dynasty is laughable. And this was a quote by Skip. I'm not gonna cap, bro. I love Skip. I love Shannon. I love Undisputed.
Shannon, are you buying the comparison here?
I can see it and I can understand why they're doing the comparison, Skip, is because Coach Belichick got Tom Brady early in his career. Coach Andy Reid is only 5 years younger, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, like 5 years younger than Coach Belichick. And so when Coach Belichick got Tom Brady, he was like in his late 40s. Andy Reid gets Patrick Mahomes, he's in his late 50s. So that's a different story there, Skip. I don't believe that now. I'm gonna do it like this. If Andy Reid coaches until he's 70, he's 62 now. If he coaches until he's 70, that's another 8 years.
So is this just a comparison like with their like age gap? Bro, Mahomes got a few more Super Bowls to win. Few more. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
They should be very disappointed if they don't have at least 4 Super Bowl wins between Mahomes and Andy.
Okay.
I think that would be a great Skip to get the 9. So many things, because it's harder to win championships in football, Skip, because it's a one game. Skip, somebody hits a 55-yard field goal, a tip pass, and it's over. It's not like basketball or series, Skip. You got to beat somebody 4 times. That's different. And for Tom them to do what they did, I don't think people realize how hard it is. You covered the game. I played it. It's unbelievable. I don't believe we'll ever see a streak like that. Just like I don't believe we'll ever see what the Celtics did in the 60s. I don't believe we'll ever see that again. You're not winning 11 championships in 13 years, Skip. That's not happening.
Nope.
I don't believe we're going to see what the Patriots did. But this might be the closest thing we see. Because Patrick Mahomes is 25, because the talent around him is so young, they got it locked up. He gave them a very friendly deal, cap-friendly deal, that they can sign players.
I'm not gonna sit here and cap, bro. That suit is fire. Bro, Shannon has the best suits, bro. He's so well dressed.
Now, if he wanted to be a jerk about it, says, you know what? No, I need all the money. I need you to pay me what I'm worth. I need that 500 million. I need it to be 200 million fully guaranteed. I need the max value that I can get. But he didn't do that. He gave him deal because if you look at it in the first 3 years, he's actually making less than Deshaun. So he gave them an opportunity to keep pieces around him. So over the next 8 years, if they don't have, including this one, if they don't have 4 Super Bowls, Skip, I'm going to be very disappointed, and I think that would be disappointing on their behalf.
Okay. Now my take on this. For me, this whole segment, the 2 topics we've done were both LOL topics, because when I heard last night that somebody was saying that LeBron was going to cement his legacy as the GOAT, I laughed out
It's
loud.
already cemented.
And then this one, that there are actual comparisons catching fire across the internet that Patrick and Andy are going to be the next Tom and Bill. It's just...
Bro, were y'all able to hear that? There was a whole dog war outside my house just now. Cause now it's just quiet, bro. Somebody did something. One side won. One side won.
It's a big laugh out loud to me because it's wrong. It's so disrespectful to what the other two men accomplished for how long they accomplished it. And here's my problem. Andy Reid's one of the great guys in the business, as you know. Your brother played for him. I mean,
yes, he was the OC for my brother.
And by all accounts, I don't know Andy, but he's a good man.
He is.
Big, good heart.
Yep.
So this is nothing personal, but for all those years, especially the years in Philly, I viewed him as a guy who could really coach offense, who had little to no interest in the other side. He had the late, great Jim Johnson for a while, who helped prop it up on the other side. But Andy's teams notoriously would get to the playoffs, and they weren't physical enough to win playoff games because it was soft, it was finesse, it was trying to out-cute you on offense. And if you look at his overall playoff record, if you take away the 3-0 last year, the run, he was 12-14 going into last year, which is not bad. It's just not great.
Right.
It's a lot of playoff games that he got to, but he was sub 500.
Right.
And if you look at him in championship games, most of them NFC championship games before last year, the AFC championship game, if you do the one before against Brady, obviously, he was 1-5 in championship games, NFC and AFC, going into last year. So he hadn't been very good in the biggest game in the conference each year. So the problem with Patrick and Andy is that it's all offense, and I give Steve Spagnuolo huge credit because he's starting to shape up a defense that looks really legit to me. It sure did on Monday night. But the problem is, if you're looking at Belichick and Brady, it was the perfect quote-unquote marriage. It was really a rocky marriage, but one guy was a genius on defense, and the other guy was the GOAT on offense. Well, that will work. Because the twain shall meet, and you got dynasty longevity.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that what Coach Belichick did, he did inherit some very good defensive pieces that were already there. You know, and they drafted well. And that, you have to do that, Skip, because the Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs. And they're going to have, 12-4, 13-3 records. So they're going to be drafting at the bottom. So it's not like they're going to be able to get an Aaron Donald unless somebody slides down in the draft and they're able to get that type of defensive player. So they're going to have to hit. Now, looks like they hit on Hilaire. But at some point in time, Skip, you're going to have to start hitting on defensive players. And then
Chris Jones.
You got Chris Jones. You got him tied up. But hopefully, what the guys start doing later in their career, it's like, you know what? I've made enough money. Let me go compete for a title. And then maybe you can get some quality veterans like the Patriots were starting to do, and fill out that roster that way. Because offensively, with Kelsey and Tyreek and McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, they have the pieces offensively, Skip. The question is, like you said, defensively.
Okay, here's why I need to see another playoff run before I start talking about dynasty. What happened last year? Seriously, they fell shockingly at home behind the Texans, right? And they fell surprisingly behind the Titans, right? Now, they roared back and won both games. I got it. But to me, those were bad signs because the Brady teams, they never fell behind at home like that. They got blown off the field in the Ray Rice game. That was the one bad game.
Like 08, 09,
Right? That was the one bad home game. But this was shocking where early on in the first half, it looked like they're hopelessly out of it, right?
But the thing that Andy has and working in his favor, at 25, Brady wasn't considered the best player in football.
Heck no. No.
This kid is that now.
I got it. I'm going to say it one more time. I love this kid. He is wildly gifted. He's got a great nature and personality. And if you let him start having fun out there, you're in big trouble because he has a lot of fun. Okay, I still look back at this past Super Bowl and I say, I'm not convinced over what I saw. His QBR was middling. It was 64. He did some really good things and he did some not good things because he threw that late third quarter interception. They're down 20-10 and he throws a pick. Then he turns right around early in the fourth, and they're still down 20-10, and he throws another pick.
But he can't. But Skip. But think about it. When Brady came back and beat the Legion of Boom, they were down 10 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, they were.
And he threw a pick. Remember, he got picked.
Okay, but they were up against a Russell Wilson who was about as on fire in that game as we saw against the Cowboys this past Sunday. So you're having to fight fire with fire. in the fourth quarter, Jimmy G
Right.
went 3 for 11 for 36 yards with an interception and missed Emmanuel Sanders
Right.
with a throw that could have changed our conversation because he was open at the goal line.
But think about what the 49ers defense had just done 2 weeks earlier to Aaron Rodgers
All
in
right.
the championship
I
game.
got it.
So they were playing at an extremely high level. And most people thought once they got down by 10, oh, ain't no coming back from this.
Okay, well,
Now-
I got to tell you, I didn't see Patrick Mahomes keying during the Super Bowl.
Oh, Skip, the man went over there to the sideline. He's talking to his OC, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
If Eric Bieniemy doesn't get a job after this year, I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to call Commissioner Goodell personally
You
myself.
should do that.
Skip, he says, do we got time for Wasp? EB goes over to Big Red and said, hey, the kid wants Wasp. Dial it up.
Okay, it's 3rd and 15.
Dial it up.
31-yard line, and you're down 20 to 10, with 7.5 minutes left in the game, and you get a rusher right in your face, and you basically no look throw it to your left, where you hope
He knows
that
he's gonna be there.
Tyreek is going to be
He
out
knows he's
there,
going to be there.
and you throw a punt, and Tyreek has to stop and come back and wave for a fair catch, and it turns out to be a 44-yard gain that changes the Super Bowl.
But think about it, Skip. What this kid can do, there are very few people, and you saw it on display Monday night. There are very few people that can throw the ball 58 yards in the air off their back foot. This kid was retreating, had a big D lineman draped on him, and he threw the ball 50 yards in the air.
Okay.
Only one guy can do that, off his back foot, retreating, with a guy hanging. One guy, that's it.
Okay, now I've seen big arm quarterbacks named Jeff George or Kyle. What about Kyle? I should have been a bowler. Remember that guy?
Yeah, when they have strong arms, and Skip, they weren't accurate. I mean,
Well, I got it.
oh, yeah, there's been guys that can. Yeah, there are guys that can throw the ball. After watching Josh Allen throw the ball Sunday, he overthrew John Brown by like 10 yards, and the ball traveled like 60-plus yards. So he has a big arm. But, Skip, the accuracy that this kid can throw.
He is. I got it.
John Brown's on my fantasy team and got 0 points last week.
He is starting to take shape as an all-time great.
Yes.
I just need to see a little bit more because all 3 playoff games last year left me with big question marks.
So what would you consider this? Let's just say they go another 8 years. Andy's 70, so 8 years. This kid will be 33. What would be? You say, you know what? They maximized it. How many Super Bowl? Okay.
4
Okay,
out of
yeah,
8.
yeah.
That's dynastic. to
Yes,
me.
I agree.
All right.
I agree. So we finally agree on something.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, no.
Now go do it.
He might get 4 out of the next 5.
He is. You got me.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.
Will Pat Mahomes win more Super Bowls? Find out on the next episode of Tommy TV.